Welcome to episode 20 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull Car Shirts, and today I'm going to take a look at the 2020-2021 Hull Kingston Rovers charity shirt. Now, this shirt was supposed to be a 2020 charity shirt. Now, we've not had a charity shirt that spanned 2 years before, but the 2020 season has been quite interesting to say the least due to the global pandemic. So, why not let's mix things up a little bit and do something a little bit different. So this shirt will likely have been worn at Magic Weekend this year, or it could have had its own unique round like we've seen in previous seasons, where we wear it in a home fixture. Now, as we know, this is going to span across 2 seasons, so we're going to wear it against Hull FC on Thursday the 29th of October, and it'll also be worn at the 2021 Magic Weekend. Like we've said before, charity shirts have been used to being at 1 season. We've had some that we've worn in one-off games, like the P&G shirt in 2015, and also in 2016 with the RLNI shirt, where they were both just worn in one-off games. But you think of the 135 shirt, which, yes, it wasn't directly a charity shirt, but it was a third shirt. We wore that on 3 occasions. And then the A Little Respect shirt, we wore that quite a lot. I'm going to say we wore that about 6 times. Wore it in the middle eights, but then we also wore it earlier in the season as well against Leeds Rhinos in the league. And we also wore it against Wigan and Oldham in the Challenge Cup. So some charity shirts / third shirts do see more action than others. So it won't be the first time that we've seen a charity shirt worn more than once, but it will be the first time we've seen it span 2 seasons. So the shirt. It's a grey shirt, obviously with plenty of purple detailing. It's kind of got that raglan sleeve effect coming on, where you've got your diagonals coming from your neck into your armpit there. The grey is, for me, quite striking in the sense of that it's not too dark and it's not too light. I think it's right in that middle zone of where it needed to be. I have got some samples to show you of what it looks like if it was darker and if it was lighter, so you guys at home will be able to make your own impression as well, which is really, really interesting. The club crest appears in its natural format. Now, this is the first time across the 2020 season that we've seen the club crest appear in its normal format. If you think of the home shirt, it's got the white inverted effect, and then obviously on the away shirt, it's also got the white stitching on the blue background of the same colour as the away shirt. So for me, it is really, really good to have the original club crest appearing on one of our match shirts during 2020. On one of the samples that I will show you later on, it does have a purple crest. Now, a lot of people have said to me how much better this shirt would have looked with a purple crest. And I can 100% see where they're coming from. The colourway would have definitely have sat in opposed to this red, which is on our club badge. The purple would have it would have mixed in a lot nicer than what the red does. But for me, you play for the badge. We've already messed about with the badge twice on the home and the away shirt. For me, you've got to have your club colours on your shirt. Especially, if you go for through a full season having 3 shirts and not one of them having the original club badge on, I think then, it starts to me, it's like, for me, you play for the badge, and for me, that should be the badge that we all know and that we all love. The 2020 charity shirt, it's for Mind. Now, we've got the logo down here of Mind Hull and East Yorkshire. They do some sensational work working with people with mental health problems. Please check out their website to sort of see how much work they do in the local community. For me, it's a charity which is a national charity, but the charity that we are supporting is the local branch. So it's great to see Hull and East Yorkshire appearing on there. Now, don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with supporting a charity on a national front. But for me, Rugby League, Hull Kingston Rovers, it shouts out local community, and we need to be working to help the people within the local community, and this charity shirt for me ticks those boxes. The main feature design is obviously these robins which appear in the Mind squiggle. Now, this is the Mind squiggle down here. I will pop a picture up so you can see it, and these robins are reenacted within that same sort of design process. For me, they're really, really good. How good would that have looked on a home shirt? I like the fact that it's a charity shirt because I think you can get away with being a little bit more quirky on there. But if this had been a white shirt with all of the purple in red, I think that we'd have been absolutely enthralled by how amazing it would look. One thing that I really like about this shirt is the group down here that we've got with the 3 robins and the mind logo. Now, this almost screams out to me that it's kind of like a little bit of a conference area where these robins have gathered, and they could be metaphorical for people attending a mind group or a mind session, to be able to sort of like to talk about the problems and the way that they're all facing each other, and that they're all kind of engaged with each other. I feel that that is kind of like a nice little addition. Now, I'm not sure it was maybe done intentionally, but that to me sends off all the right messages. It's sponsored by Harrison Solway, and I think that it's pretty fortunate for them that the club shirt has appeared in their colourway. Harrison Solway, you'll have seen their vans driving down the M62. Purple, grey, white is their sort of their colours. So to tie that in with the shirt, you know, it's the sponsor has just added to the aesthetics of the shirt rather than it standing out like a sore thumb. Hull College, obviously, as we know, they're very purple at the moment, and obviously we've got the Oxen appearing in purple as well. So, you know, fair play to all of those guys for stepping up, supporting the club, but also allowing their branding to appear in the correct colourway, that it would not stand out ridiculously on the shirt, and it actually looks really, really good. Flipping it round to the side, obviously we've said that we've got this purple side band coming down the side, and then shout outs to Easy Buy on the sleeve here. You know, they've been more than happy for their logo to exchange from the normal blue colour into white, so that then does make a nice aesthetic look on the sleeve. And also, not to be forgotten, on the other sleeve we've got RSV. They've also done the same thing as well. You know, their branding isn't normally white, however, to appear on our shirt, they've gone white with the purple, just to make the aesthetics of the shirt match and make it very, very simplified. So flipping it round to the back, we've got the same style going on the back here with the mind squiggles. For me, the only thing I don't like is this Higher Base logo down here. I know Higher Base have supported the club for a very long time. I think they've been sponsoring us probably since about 2012 or something like that, when they appeared across the front of the shirt, and their logo has been on our shirt in some way, shape or form. And I'm not going to criticise it too much, purely because of the level of support that they do deliver to the club. However, if that had been in white or in purple, I do think the aesthetics of the back of the shirt would have been a lot better. Compass Academy, again, another sponsor which has happily changed their branding colour to fit in with the look of the shirt. So well done and thank you to those guys. NEC, again, they've used their original colourway. However, I don't think it massively stands out or ruins the aesthetics of the shirt quite as much as the red Higher Base does on the bottom there. Now, this is obviously a replica shirt. This is one of mine that I purchased for my personal collection. When we wear this shirt on Thursday against Hull FC, the back of the shirt, where these squiggles are here, we expect to see a bit of a blank box. Now, it will traditionally be a box, however, it won't appear as a box because it's the same colour. But what will happen is it'll break off here, so you won't have any of these robins on the back, and that'll then give space to have the player's name and the player's number on the back. Obviously, they'll be in the performance style shirt as well, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what the team looks like wearing the performance style shirt, purely on the basis of we've not actually seen that yet. We've seen what the replica looks like. You know, we saw Dean Hadley, Sean Kenny Dowell and Dan Murray wearing a replica version for the launch, but we've not actually seen what the player spec versions look like just yet. So I'm quite interested to see how they look. So what I'll do now is I'll quickly show you a few of the different templates and samples that could have been. So the first one that I've got has a very similar grey to the one that was used. However, it's slightly lighter. So you guys can see this now. It's been printed onto some fabric, so it doesn't have a embroidered crest like the original shirt does. So that is just purely just for this sort of sample process. So it's got the purple side panels, which you can see coming down both of the sides. Again, the robins feature quite prominently In fact, they're exactly the same on the 3 samples that I've got, as well as the original that was signed off. Moving on to the second one. Now, this one is a lot lighter than the grey that was used. It's almost like a mucky white colour. It's not quite white and it's not quite grey. It's kind of in that middle ground of white and grey. Again, we have the 2 side purple panels going down the sides. So again, I feel like that does add to the aesthetics of the shirt. I think if that had have been grey, the same as it is on the front of the shirt, I don't think that would have given us the exact same look that we were looking for. Whereas adding that purple going down the sides, continuation in from the sleeves, it does give a much more pleasing look. And lastly, the third one that I've got to show you is a slightly darker grey than the option that the club decided to go for. However, you will notice on this one, it doesn't have the purple side panelling, but it does have a purple club crest. Now, I've already spoken in this video about the purple club crest, and I do believe it looks better with it. But I prefer the reasoning of why we didn't use it more than I do of the aesthetics of the purple. For me, if you're messing about with your brand identity too much, then you're not sending out the right messages to your fan base or even the players that are pulling on the shirt, in my opinion. If you've got a brand image like Hull Kingston Rovers have with their club crest, if you're constantly tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it, you're almost taking away some of that identity. And yes, okay, I know it's on some training wear and things like that, but you have to have your original club crest on at least one of your match shirts, in my opinion. And thankfully we've got that with the third shirt. Now, would I have maybe preferred the original crest on the home shirt this year and the purple one on the away one? Yeah, I think I would. But the hand that we've been dealt with is that we have got the original club crest on the third shirt, and I'm okay with that. So that's been the 2020-2021 Hull Kingston Rovers Mind charity shirt. These are still available to buy direct from Hull KR. So if you look onto the Hull KR website and then click on shop, you will be able to purchase one of these if you haven't done already. Speaking from previous experience, third shirts and charity shirts are normally purchased by the club in smaller numbers than that of the home and the away. So if you do want one of these, I suggest buying one of them now on the basis of that they won't be around forever. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video today. See you all soon. Bye bye.